Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology.
Good morning to one and all. I'm Dr. Sonia Jennifer Ryan, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. Today I'm here to take a session on human computer interaction. The topic for today's session is on the virtual displays and interaction. Why are virtual displays very important and how does that play a very important role in the interaction? So the virtual displays, the devices for 2D and 3D interpretation. Now we know there's a place where we see an image on a real time. So it's going to be a three-dimensional image. When we are going to capture it via a phone or any other device, what happens? A 3D image is being mapped to a 2D image. This is what was our system so far. But however, as we all know, the growth of the AR, VR, the metaverse has, there comes a need for the virtual displays where we want to see everything on the third axis as well. That is where this AR, VR, everything comes into picture. So, the VR is basically a computer technology where we are going to create a simulated environment where it is generally used for the gaming, entertainment, as well as for your educational purpose. Educational purpose in the sense, when we want to make our kids have a real time image of a solar system or any other, see the pumping of the blood vessels, we can see it in an imaginary way, a real time one rather than we just imagining things. Then goes to the 3D space. 3D space in the sense the x, the y, and the z axis. X axis represents the x coordinate, y axis represents the y coordinate, and z the z coordinate. 3D display, generally gives us an image as a depth of the view. So this image will generally give us a real-time video. The 3D image is like a technology where we are going to have a three-dimensional view. Earlier, in case of 2D, what happened? A two-dimensional image. This is what we got along the Z and the Y axis. This is where we used to go with the displays, as in where, when we used to wear those VR glasses and watch, we would have that feeling. But now there are cases where we can see without the glassless ones. They are the ones with the hologram. So the past, the present, this is where the future is going on, and this is where a long-term future, this is the need of the hour. And then comes the devices for the interaction. We even have these 3D mouses, which gives us the virtual 3D environments. Now the devices, we have these glove and all, the data glove, which gives us a movement as if we are real time, really playing with the hands movement, and then transforms this input into the application. And then the helmet, the head mount, the VR glasses, which is going to really give us that feel as if we are really present in that environment for the viewers. Again, the devices where, the trainers, where people with autistic children who really cannot go to that place and have the real time environment feel, they all can wear this. The body tracking virtually. Okay, and then the various devices which are actually present. We have the special devices like the head up displays, the telephone keypad, the haptic devices, the ones which we are able to touch and feel, the physical control, the large knobs and all, as in the washing machine, and the biosensing, the wash basin controllers. This is the head up displays in the cars, which generally helps us to monitor the traffic or the distance. It has multi purpose, showing us the time, the minutes, how we are going to reach the destination. So, how did all this come? What was the need of all this? So, this interaction, all this came with the evolution of the network. So, internet, like mainly, it just started booming up in the year 1969, and then we had web 1.0, where they were static pages, 2.0, which were going to be this normal interaction, and now online content, everything is going to be a dynamic content. Basically interaction. So we're just seeing about the various devices present. How does this interaction takes place? For this, basically we have a source and then a task. Okay, we present it, a system or the source is going to present it on the output, which is in turn being observed, and then it is being observed by the user, and that is being articulated to the input, and then from the input to your system again becomes the performance. So what are the basic things which are needed? A system, a user, and an input and an output. How does this interfere, or how does this interface actually take place? We need a task language, a core language, and an input and an output as well. So basically what happens in case of this is it is going to be an iterative cycle where one purely depends on the other, the system as well as the input and the output on the other hand. So user formulates a goal. Based on that, the particular task takes place. He manipulates a mission and then an execution takes place. So Norman actually gave us a model of how this interaction basically takes place. A user and a system, some interaction takes place, any process for that case. This process, once taken, has to be evaluated, and you call this as the Norman's interaction cycle. Okay, so what does basically a Norman's interaction cycle mean? So it has establishing the goal. What is that goal? The input which we are going to give to the system. Okay, once when you give something as an input, an interaction is being established between the user and the system, and we then specify the sequence of action or the sequence of steps there, and then we next comes the executing. How are we going to execute these actions or these steps? And then perceiving the system state. Okay, what is the current state of that particular system? And then once when we are going to perceive the system, next comes interpreting the system. So how is that result going to interpret it? And finally evaluate, are we really satisfied with the goal or not? Next, ergonomics is generally is a place where it's like a study of what we tell as to optimize the system for the human's use. It deals with the physical characteristics of the environment. What and all can be the environment? The physical environment in the sense the working environment, who is the user, the position, size of the user, the period of the use of color, temperature. How does all this affect our interaction? And next, in turn, again, as Norman says, how are we going to evaluate it? So what are the interaction styles? There are various styles such as the command line interface, the runtime command, the menus, the drop down menus for that case, natural languages like the Alexa, and then the question answers, the ones which we take it up as a questioner, filling up forms or spreadsheet, the WIMP, points and click, the 3D interface. Okay, this gives us an example of the GUI or the command. Okay, here what happens is the command prompt, the paint in that case where we can go select our desired one, the menus in this case which is like a drop down. Okay, and then this is going to be the natural language where you can give it as a voice input and then it takes up the thing, and then the Ola, the same thing. Okay, the spreadsheets where we are going to fill in the forms, and then again the WIMP, the windows where we have the various icons, the pointer clicks, the hyperspots, and the 3D interface. So this is how I would like to conclude that my basically my AR VR is now playing a very important role, and interaction and our technologies play a very important role where the correct input is being given to the system. So the user's input is given to the system and in turn it is being evaluated. This is how the Norman cycle is actually, he says the same thing. Input is being given by the user to the system. The system in turn evaluates it. Is it satisfied or not? If not, the same process is repeated until the requirement is being satisfied. Thank you.